My friends, there is a truth that echoes through all of time. It is a truth that speaks louder than fear, louder than doubt, louder than delay. It is this: God's timing is always perfect. We live in a world of hurry. We want results now. We want answers today. We want doors to open the moment we knock. But God does not move according to our schedule. God does not bow to our impatience. God moves according to His perfect plan. And here's the good news: His plan is never late. His plan is never early. His plan is always right on time. Some of you are waiting right now, waiting for a breakthrough, waiting for healing, waiting for restoration, waiting for an opportunity. And the waiting feels heavy, the waiting feels endless, the waiting feels like silence. But hear me clearly: God is not ignoring you. God has not forgotten you. God has not abandoned you. The waiting is not wasted. The waiting is preparation. The waiting is strengthening you. The waiting is shaping your character. The waiting is aligning your life with His divine design. Think of Joseph in the Bible. He was given a dream as a young man. A dream that one day he would lead, one day he would rise, one day he would save lives. But before the dream came true, Joseph was betrayed. He was thrown into a pit. He was sold into slavery. He was falsely accused. He was locked in prison. Year after year he waited, but the dream was never forgotten because God's timing was still unfolding. And when the moment was right, Joseph rose to power. Not 1 second too early, not 1 second too late. Think of Abraham. God promised him a son, but decades passed and still no child came. Abraham and Sarah wondered if the promise would die, but when the time was right, Isaac was born. God's promise fulfilled, God's timing perfect. Think of Jesus Christ. The world longed for a Savior. Generations cried out for deliverance, but the Messiah did not come until the fullness of time. And when He came at the exact moment the world needed Him most. So what does this mean for you? It means your life is not off schedule. It means your dreams are not forgotten. It means your prayers are not ignored. It means your waiting is not wasted. God is still writing your story. God is still working behind the scenes. God is still aligning the pieces. God is still preparing you for the promise. You may be asking, why the delay? And the answer is this: because delay is not denial. Delay is not rejection. Delay is divine protection. Delay is divine preparation. If you received everything you wanted the moment you asked, you would not be ready to carry it. But God knows when you are ready. God knows when the people around you are ready. God knows when the circumstances are ready. God knows when the stage is ready. So trust Him. Trust that His silence does not mean absence. Trust that His delay does not mean neglect. Trust that His timing is always perfect. You see, faith is not just believing God can. Faith is also believing God will when the time is right. Faith is trusting His clock, not yours. Faith is walking by obedience, not by impatience. Some of you feel like your life is stuck in a holding pattern, like you're circling the runway but never landing. But remember this: a plane does not take off until the runway is clear. A rocket does not launch until the conditions are perfect. And your life will not step into its full purpose until the timing is divine. So instead of asking when, Lord, ask what, Lord? What are you teaching me in this waiting? What are you shaping in me right now? What are you preparing me to carry when the door finally opens? Because if you learn to wait well, you will walk stronger when the time comes. If you learn to trust His timing, you will not collapse under the weight of His blessings. If you learn to embrace the process, you will step boldly into the promise. Do not let impatience steal your peace. Do not let frustration rob your joy. Do not let delay weaken your faith. Instead, let the waiting draw you closer to God. Let the waiting deepen your roots. Let the waiting refine your trust. Remember this truth: the God who began a good work in you will carry it to completion. Not halfway, not unfinished,
but to completion in His perfect time. So lift your head. Do not despair, do not quit, do not give up, because the same God who opened the Red Sea for Moses, the same God who brought down the walls of Jericho, the same God who raised Jesus from the dead is the same God working in your life right now. And if He can part the sea, He can part your obstacles. If He can break walls, He can break your chains. If He can raise the dead, He can revive your dreams, but He will do it in His time. So trust Him. Trust Him when it's dark. Trust Him when it's silent. Trust Him when it's slow. Trust Him when it's hard. Trust Him when it feels impossible, because His time is the right time, and His plan is the best plan.